Hello there, dear YouTubers. My name is King1993, and today I wanted to talk about something a little bit completely different than what I usually talk about, and it is regarding a certain YouTube channel. Okay, now it is not a blame, rather, it is a concern which I have seen in that person in that video. So I wanted to discuss because most of the time people who had those certain type of problems get the wrong type of treatment and they end up getting unwell instead of getting well. Okay, so that's the whole reason why I wanted to make this video. Okay, so first of all, to understand that before uh, mxr plays, okay, I usually used to watch video of PewDiePie, okay, on a regular basis because his channel is a comedic channel, and I had been following his channel for about 10 years. Okay, so I had been watching PewDiePie for a matter of 10 years, but also at the end of PewDiePie's regular basis upload, okay, eventually I came across this another channel which goes by the name MXR Plays. Okay, now after basically speaking for the past few years, 2 or 3 years maybe, I had been watching MXR Plays a lot more compared to PewDiePie because PewDiePie is not constantly uploading his video on a regular basis. So in order to not get depressed on a regular basis, which we all do, what I basically do is instead of only watching PewDiePie and hoping that he will upload a video, I always watch MXR Plays on a regular basis. Now, I basically started MXR Plays to the point where Jenny and Henry was doing their video behind a black, what should I call it, blanket or something like that. So I had been watching their video from those point till now. So you can probably guess of how old I am in terms of a subscriber. Okay. Now, other than that, yesterday I was watching MXR Plays, and here at this point, okay, Jenny was talking about something that which concerned me because it went really bad from my point of perspective, especially with my mother, and many of the people whom I talk to also have the same issue. So I wanted to discuss in this video of how Jenny or Henry or let's say even Kai are gonna be reacting to this video because this is more of an educational video so that they can stay healthy. Okay, so in yesterday's video, especially during this point, uh Jenny was saying,
Actually, an apple a day is what got me to the doctors because it got me acid reflux issues.
I
Because
think
apples are
you just
highly
have acid
acidic.
reflux issues.
okay, so
Apple because it got me acid reflux. Actually, an apple a day is what got me to the doctors because it got me acid reflux issues.
I
Because
think
apples are
you just
highly
have acid
acidic.
reflux issues.
Apples
Shinny,
are
just
highly
in general.
acidic, dude.
And so is Coke, but you're drinking that thing every day.
Look, I decide when to end my life, okay? So if I decide to end it early, I'm doing it
Maybe
now.
that's why you have acid reflux. You ever think maybe it's the Coca-Cola you drink every single day?
okay, so you can probably guess what she said. So she basically said, or Jenny, if you are watching this video, so what you basically said that apple juice is highly acidic, which is true. Apple juice has a pH level of 4. Okay, so if I were to say the pH level somewhere around there, acid acidic food such as apple juice, okay, has a pH level between 3 to 4. Okay, so that is acidic. But the thing is, when you said that apple juice gave you acid reflux, now that's a completely different issue. Okay, I am 100% sure that acid reflux didn't happen because you were drinking apple juice. Rather, it should have gone down unless you were also eating something that were highly near alkaline. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Well, first of all, we have to understand what is acid reflux. So basically speaking, if this is, let's say this is the stomach, okay, which it is. Now when the stomach acidity level goes above pH level 3, I guess. Here it is. So when the acidic level of the stomach go above pH level 3, what happens is this esophagus, it is held down by this tiny muscle here. So this muscle basically gets opened. Okay, so it basically gets opened, and the lower acidic level, which is let's say pH level 4, what happens is the stomach acid basically flows upward. Okay, so that's basically what acid reflux is. Now in most cases, what majority of the people do is they go to a doctor, and most of the time the doctor will basically give them uh, proton pump inhibitor type of drugs. Okay, now here's the thing is this basically lowers your stomach pH level. Now if you're wondering, okay, where should the stomach pH level exist? The stomach pH level should exist between 1, 2, and 3, but not above 3, because if it goes above 3, the esophagus, okay, the esophagus area, it gets flooded with the acid and you will get acid reflux. So the overall question remains, okay, what does this omeprazole do? This omeprazole basically stop this what is it, this area from getting open. Okay, but also at the same time it lowers the pH level I, of the acidic scale and goes towards more alkaline. So your stomach pH level will basically become 5, but the healthy stomach pH level should be between 1, 2, and 3, but not above 3. If it is above 3, you should immediately take something to lower it. Okay, but most of the time people who take omeprazole, their stomach acidity level becomes pH level 5, and eventually a certain problem happens. Okay, so when the pH level becomes less acidic, many type of bacteria start to grow. One of the bacteria which basically grows from that range is called H. pylori. Now H. pylori is a bioenergetically a new trap lophile. I do not know what that means, meaning it prefers neutral to close to neutral pH level. So basically speaking, H. pylori is a type of bacteria which is highly bad for the stomach. Okay, and not only that, it basically grows at a pH level of 5.5 to 7.5. So basically speaking, if your stomach becomes almost neutral to alkaline, that is the place where the H. pylori will grow. Now, what happens when H. pylori grows? You will get ulcer, and you will continuously be taking omeprazole or let's say some other type of drug to even further lower your stomach pH level to the point that basically you are gonna get cancer. So if you think that okay, acid reflux happened, okay, Jenny, sorry about this video, I think this is a good representation that maybe when you are watching this video you might be mocking me, but I highly suggest that you don't do that. Anyway, so when your pH level basically goes above that, H. pylori will grow a lot more, to the point what will happen is that H. pylori is gonna cause ulcer, from ulcer to cancer if you continuously take this omeprazole or other type of drugs. Okay, now what are my solutions for that? So my solutions is, let's say you are gonna be taking any type of white vinegar. Okay, so this is Heinz white vinegar, any type of white vinegar which is basically used on food. Now take one cork, okay, or let's say 2 tablespoon, or not tablespoon, sorry, teaspoon. Take 2 teaspoon of white vinegar and put it in a 200 ml of water. So with 200 ml of water and 2 teaspoon of white vinegar, what will happen is once this vinegar enter your stomach, what will happen is your stomach will basically immediately go down between these range here, okay, from 1 to 3. So once that happened, your acid reflux should automatically stop, because this area here is gonna get closed and the stomach acid is gonna stay within the stomach and it will not rise up. Okay, so that's basically how it goes. Now to know more about these food related issues, I highly suggest that you talk to another doctor on YouTube. So there is another doctor on YouTube which goes by the name Chabi Emu. Okay, so basically speaking, if you go to this doctor on Discord or Facebook or Twitter, wherever it is, and talk to him about a broad description of how he actually understand how these food related stuff work, then it would be highly beneficial. Because when it comes to doctor, most of the doctors are doctors uh, due to their certificate, their degrees. But just because someone is a higher degree than you in terms of education doesn't mean they are gonna be mostly right. So Chabi Emu is one of those person who actually works in the toxicology department, where any type of toxicity related problem happens, he will be there to fix those problems. So because of that, his entire channel is basically like dumb people doing dumb things, and how they suffer because of those dumb things, those type of things. So if you talk to this guy, Henry and Jenny and Kai, okay, then you will be able to know a lot more. Not only that, there are also other type of thing which may cause acid reflux. And what are those? Okay, now when it comes to oils, okay, there are many type of oils, vegetable oils, but most of the vegetable oil will also cause acid reflux. Okay, so which type of vegetable oil should you be actually taking? The vegetable oil that you should be taking is going to be rice bran oil, coconut oil, olive oil, and flaxseed oil, because these are the four type of oils. Despite being vegetable oil, these are the only four type of oil that will basically not cause acid reflux, rather will maintain the stomach acidity very well, which is a highly important thing. Another food that is you should be avoiding, even though it might not cause acid reflux, is MSG, or monosodium glutamate, or tasting salt. Okay, now the reason why I say this is because MSG is more of a waste product. Okay, so when a certain waste product tastes good, but it is a waste product, the body tries to get rid of it. But also at the same time, what happens is you are gonna be getting cancer related issues at the long term. Okay, so I highly suggest that you avoid food that contains MSG. A small amount, large amount, I do not care. MSG is gonna cause a cancer type of issue eventually. Okay, another thing you should be avoiding is fluffy cake or fluffy bread. Okay, because the thing about bread is there is a certain YouTuber, okay, I think, who actually talked about this topic. uh, BREA, bread maker, bread making. WROG. So there is a certain YouTuber who actually talked about this topic very importantly, like how traditional, how yeah, this one, how the US ruined bread. So in this video, this guy actually talks about why hard breads are actually more important than soft breads, and why soft breads are actually an industrial thing, and why soft bread is gonna cause more health problem compared to a hard bread. Because when it comes to wheat or flour, when you properly cook them with, let's say, milk and sugar, what basically happens is the bread is gonna get hard. Okay, so when it comes to cake or anything that is soft, cake or let's say bread, it is better to take the hard one, because the hard cake or bread are gonna be a lot more beneficial for the stomach compared to the soft one. Okay, now if you put large quantity of egg in your bread or cake, then maybe they will become fluffy. That is a completely different topic. But if you take any fluffy cake or bread, it is kind of mostly baking soda most of the time. So when it comes to this baking soda thing, I highly suggest that you don't eat a fluffy cake or bread on a regular basis, maybe once a month for the taste of it. Okay, do that, no problem. Now another thing that you should be avoiding is gonna be garlic and ginger. Okay, because garlic and ginger, despite many people saying it has many health benefit, it is actually not, because garlic and ginger has a pH level above 5. Okay, and which is basically lower the stomach acidity level and eventually cause acid reflux. Okay, now another thing that you can use to avoid acid reflux is, if you are feeling acid reflux, then I highly suggest that you take soda water or carbonated water, which are basically the same thing. So soda water or carbonated water, what it basically does is it basically lowers the stomach pH level back to 1, 2, or 3, and maintaining a healthy stomach level. Okay, so that's basically how it goes. Now, the overall question remains is, okay, are there any other thing that you should need to know? Well, here's the thing. Let me tell you a problem which happened to my mother. Okay, so my mother had been making food with soybean oil, okay, for a very long period of time, and eventually that soybean oil basically affected me hormonally wise, and affected my mother with that acid reflux and diabetes as well. Okay, now at the end of the day, uh, the doctor, okay, who was meant to give her proper treatment, gave her omeprazole for a matter of 7 years. Now, according to the omeprazole instruction itself, it is said that omeprazole should not be used on a very long term. It should only be used a matter of 6 months. Okay, after 6 months, if omeprazole do not fixes the problem, then it is highly suggested another different type of drug is given to that person, so that that person may cure their problems. Okay, but the doctor didn't give her any changes. The doctor just kept on giving her omeprazole for 7 years, and because of that, eventually my mother had the same issues, such as the growth of H pylori bacteria, and not only that, other bacteria as well. So eventually my mother had gotten sick 2 times, okay, because of bacterial infection in the stomach. So first time she had E. coli problem. The second time she had that similar problem again, except in the second time I basically interfered and basically gave her white vinegar and told her to take white vinegar with water, as I suggested, 2 teaspoons of vinegar with uh, 200 ml of water, and she basically drank that, and eventually her stomach acid reflux went away. Okay, afterwards she had never taken a single amount of omeprazole, and despite not taking that, whenever she felt the acid reflux, she basically took the same thing. But also at the same time, it is a bit bad for your teeth. So also told my mother that after you have taken this vinegar thing, make sure to rinse your mouth with normal water and throw it away or drink it, whichever you do. Okay, so it is going to be less harmful for the teeth, because the teeth is basically alkaline, and uh, acidic foods such as white vinegar is going to be corrosive to the teeth. Okay, so that's basically how it goes. Now now another thing that happened was, while she was on omeprazole for such a long period of time, when my mother tried to get off this drug, eventually what happened was her pancreas was getting expanded. Okay, so eventually I realized, okay, if I go to a doctor, the doctor will say a lot of things except the solution. So instead of doing that, I instead lowered the dosage of the omeprazole. Okay, like once every 3 days to once a week to once every 3 weeks to once every month, and then eventually she didn't need any omeprazole at all. So basically speaking, omeprazole not only does it causes imbalance in the pH stomach level, okay, rather it also makes you dependent on this drug. And if you ever try to take off this drug, what will happen is your pancreas might get inflamed, like it might expand to the point that you might get scared and keep on taking omeprazole. Okay, so I highly suggest that if you, Jenny, really want to take care of your health, maybe one of the thing you should be following is, as Henry said, not to take any coke on a regular basis, like once a month or maybe once a week is fine, but don't drink coke on a regular basis. Like if you want to drink something, like I highly suggest that you take some uh carbonated juice, carbonated uh fruit, let's see, juice. Yeah, if you were to take some carbonated fruit juice, maybe that is gonna be still better because carbonated fruit juice are less problematic compared to the one that are basically this coke like flavor, because most of the coke like flavors have contains large quantity of caffeine in them in order to make them more addicting. Okay. S- and not only caffeine, let's say there are many other things as well in coke compared to soda or carbonated juice. Okay. Now, Jenny and Henry and Kai, I wanted to make this video because I had been watching you guys for about 3 years. Maybe not Kai for 3 years. Kai came to the show a lot later. But eventually, I have grown attached to your videos, which is why I watch your video on a regular basis. And once I saw this problem was happening, I was in a type of realization that maybe since Ginny has the same issue, and if Henry and Ginny and Kai are living in the same building or apartment, whichever it is, then they are also eating the similar type of food. And if they are eating the similar type of food, then there is a high possibility that all three of them or all three of you might be gonna be having acid reflux issue in the future. Okay. Now, also another thing that I must need to tell you is be careful the age of 40, because majority men and women at the age of 40 starts to develop a diabetic problem, not because of diabetic problem, rather because of hormonal imbalances, mostly testosterone for the men and the smaller amount of testosterone for women as well. Okay, so if you mxr comedy channel makers find this video interesting, then please uh, give a like, and I won't ask you to subscribe. At least give a benefit of a doubt that maybe if you follow this suggestion you will be in a better position. And if you want to know more, obviously contact Mr. Dr. Bernard, and Dr. Bernard will be able to help you in the long run. Okay, so goodbye, stay safe, and see you again next time if I see any more other problems with your diet, that is.